Welcome to another edition of the Post Game Wrap. I'm Jarret Johnson, and Texas Tech, man, they survived a scare in Norman against Oklahoma. Red Raiders won by 2 points, 69-67, as Austin Reeves, Oklahoma standout guard, had a shot rim out in the final fractions of a second. And Texas Tech was able to get out of Norman with a big win, which means they split those first two games. They lost to Kansas in heartbreaking fashion by 1 point at the USA in Lubbock. But then they bounced back and beat Oklahoma, a good Oklahoma team. I think it's a tournament Oklahoma team, by 2 there in Norman. So there's a lot to talk about. First off, I want to mention Terence Shannon. I think he's having a breakout year. He's stepping up. I think he's taking that next step in his game. And it's not just the scoring, though there is certainly something to be said for his outside shooting, the way he's knocking down threes, knocking down perimeter jumpers. That's elevated his game, but it's some of the little things. Really, in watching the game against Oklahoma, he knew where to be on the court, most times, on both ends of the court. Defensively, he was, he's always, since he got to Tech, he's been really good as a help defender and drawing charges. As Mighty Joe likes to say, that he probably leads the country in drawing charges. But then offensively, just some of the cuts he made were really smart in terms of to the basket, helping his teammates out, creating shots for them, trying to help out on the board some. He's just really taking a next step. He gets it. But the thing is you could tell he still has ways to go in terms of reaching his ceiling. So it's going to be fun to watch Terence Shannon's game. McClure, boy, some of those shots he made were amazing. He had a layup in traffic between like 3 Sooners defenders where it was a reverse layup that he made. I don't know what the degree of difficulty was, but he really hung in the air. It was just a brilliant shot. Had me jumping out of my seat. And it was a big bucket in the game. It was late in the game, and he really he was the closer for Texas Tech. So good game for him. He still tries to do too much, but it's kind of hard to tell him not to create, because he creates so much for his teammates. He makes difficult shots, but it just seems like when he is under control, when he's more efficient, he becomes almost unstoppable. Sometimes I think he tries to do too much, but he's a work in progress, and he's still a great player, one of the best players in the Big 12. Marcus Santos-Silva finally had his breakout game. He was tremendous. Almost a double-double, some big buckets around the hoop. He totally took Brady Manick out of his game. And he was battling with some of the other Oklahoma's, really good bigs. And Tech needed it. Obviously, they needed a little bit of everything. And Marcus Santos-Silva, if he can bring that scoring punch where he scores around 10 points, where he's scoring around the basket, it could really open up things for his teammates. Also, the emotion he played with, I think, was really big for that team last night. I think look, Micah Peavy's a guy you could really start to count on, not necessarily as a scorer, but all around player, and he can score. He is a gifted mid-range scorer. So I really like what you see from him. Kyler Edwards, look, he's not a primary scorer. He came off the bench against Oklahoma. I think that was the first time he came off the bench this season, and he missed a lot of shots. He missed a lot of really good looks, but I think he led the team in rebound with 9. He's a good ball handler. He's a very good defender. So there is a very big defined role for Kyler. I just don't think it's as a primary scorer. So Jamarius Burton is a guy you just keep waiting for him to come on. I see little in spurts him doing good things for Texas Tech, but I still think he has a ways to go to getting comfortable and really define his role. But I think he is like your floor general. He could be a common presence. I like the pace in which he plays with. So there's that. And then I think Namari Burnett and Tyreek Smith both came off the bench, and Smith didn't really play a whole lot. He got Beard, angry, something awful with him a couple times. But hopefully he gets more timeouts or more time out there. And then Burnett knocked down a 3 and then another long jumper, and he plays very good defense for you. He's like, he's a thief. He sure can come up with those steals. Definitely is a good defender. So he has a role. I think. Then you got Kevin McClure, who he wasn't in a boot. He was in the shoot around. I think he plays in that Incarnate Word game after Christmas. Be a great kind of warm up for him before they get into Big 12 play, where it's almost exclusively Big 12 play throughout, other than that Big 12 SEC Challenge game against LSU. So, big win. Tech had to split one. They had to take one of these two games, so their backs were against the wall after dropping that one to Kansas, which, as even Coach Beard said, they should have won. But hey, they bounced back. They got the W. They got the split. They're in the fight, as Coach Beard likes to say, and I can't wait to see the next round. So with that, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.